Family is big, family is deep, and no one can claim to have enough or sufficient wisdom to run a beautiful family. And therefore, Thome PCEA Online Church welcomes you every Friday to have a time of more wisdom to run and to build a good family. Because our desire, our mission is that we'll not just have working families, but we'll have joyful families. Therefore, welcome to the Family Enrichment Moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the part 2 of our small series called How Can the Family Support the Sons? I have been your host, Jeff Muthomi from PCEA THOME, and I'm very happy for you to tune in to our special edition. Now, just a quick recap on what we did last episode. We talked about families should support their sons through prayer, should understand them, and they should encourage them. Those are the 3 things that we talked about last time. Now, today I'm coming to you with fresh points and fresh pieces straight from the kitchen, and that is God's book, the Bible. Let us start. The first thing I want to talk about is availability in the family. This comes a long way, by the way. This is something very crucial, and I'm going to start this off with a small story. Long ago, there was a young man who had a father, a mother, and 2 sisters. The father was a working class father. The father worked at a bank. He was a bank manager. He was making a decent income. The mother was a hairdresser. And the 2 sisters were in their early teens. The son was the oldest. He was the firstborn. He was 26 years old. Now, a couple of years passed, and the son turned 17. And the mother got a promotion. The father got a promotion. And they were always busy. So the mother and the father would come home late. And during the weekend, they would try to work those extra hours because, trust me, when you give someone a taste of success, they will try to strive and to gain more success and more money. So that's how the world works anyway. Let's not lie. We love money. We need money. I see you. I know you do. Anyway, yeah, that's actually what happens. So their availability towards the family starts dwindling. They don't see their parents at breakfast. When they come home from school, no one is there. Same case applies to dinner time. They have someone to cook their meals. Mom and dad will come home very late and tired, so they won't even really converse, have a really good conversation. And during the holiday, they're off at tuition, the parents are still working. So what happens to our young man? We're gonna call him Josh. So Josh feels very alone, and he finds himself a group of friends. And the group of friends are just some ruffians around the neighborhood. You know, young men, you're only young ones, 16, 17, 18, you think the world is yours, you feel like I'm invincible, not even a bullet can penetrate my skin, but oh, unto you. So they wake up in the middle of the night, and they had planned to go out clubbing. So he knows the mother and father is not there, and there's no one to give him counsel or to scold him, or he's the ruler. He's the ruler of the house, in short, because he's the man of the house. He's the firstborn son. So he jumps off the fence, goes with his friends to take a drink, to have a drink. So they have such a nice time, and he comes back drunk. This habit continues for about a few months, and when the guy finishes high school, he gets into a gang. Now things are getting serious. Now you're cringing. The family discovers later that the son is in a gang, but because the parents are so busy, they only just give him a brief talk. Son, you're making a very wrong decision. Son, blah, this. Son, just make a change. Think about your life, or else I'm not going to give you your allowance at the end of the month. That's how they feel. And then he's like, Okay. And they go about their day. But the advice falls on deaf ears, and he decides to go back to his ways. Now, this is where this is where I want you to really pay attention. This is where I want you to really get the gist of what I'm saying. So pay attention. After the parents scold him, he starts rebelling because he sees that, oh, you're not noticing that I'm doing something wrong. Okay, let me take it up a notch. So he gets into this gang. They get hold of some pistols and they decide to rob a bank. So to do this, they have to get high. So they smoke up a blunt. They're now good. They're now in the mood. They're now in the zone. So they put on their masks and they cock their guns and they go into the bank. They shoot the manager of the bank, who comes to actually ask what they want and, to negotiate. And they shoot a couple of people there and they run away with about 100,000. Later, the cops apprehend the group, and when they're in court, the family comes together. Now that's when the family comes together. And oh, unto this son, the manager he shot from the bank was actually his father. But because he was under the influence, he could not tell. He had shot his own father. And at the price of what? Money? So the father had abandoned his son, and he paid the price. He was shot by his own son trying to rob a bank. Let that sink in, people. That's the world we live in. If this father had taken time to counsel his son and to tell him that manhood is in a different perspective, manhood is different from what you think, I think we could have been very, 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 the story could have ended differently, because it's very sad to know that your son shot your dad, your husband, or your brother shot your father because he was too busy to counsel him. The mother was too busy to sit him down and tell him, son, you're going the wrong way. So he went 20 years in prison because it was a first offense. And so the story went. Now, from that sad story, that's where I want to discuss about being available. From this story, you see Josh was a kid, age 16, 15, brought up in a very wealthy home. He was given all the money, all the luxuries, but he was not given time. He was not given time. He was not given an environment to thrive as a man. He was not given counsel. So what does he do? He finds counsel on other people, or on other people's understanding towards life. That's why he joins a gang, because he needs to feel like he belongs somewhere. Let me tell you something. The reason why very many young men join gangs is because they want to belong to something. At home, no one cares. Mom doesn't care, dad doesn't care. So what? So when they're welcomed into this gang and they're called bro, and the leader calls them son, and gives them money and gives them attention and listens to what they have to say, and maybe they have to steal or kill to be noticed in the gang, they'll feel this is actually better than being home. No one gives anything there to me. No one cares about me. No one dares even know what I'm up to. Right now, they don't even know where I am. So he relates to the gang, not knowing that he's relating to the wrong crowd, because the parents or the family doesn't give him enough attention. Even if the siblings were to tell him, Josh, you're doing something wrong, he's just going to shrug it off. What do you know? You're young. You're too young. When you come to my age, you'll know what I'm talking about. So parents in the family, be available. You can make that money later. You can sign that deal tomorrow. But giving your son time. Going out on a drive, you don't have to spend money. Just throw him in the car and let's go for a drive around Kiambu, around Lavington, around Kileleshwa, around Gong Road. Let's talk. Tell me about you. How is school? Do you feel loved, son? Do you feel okay? Is there something that I'm doing wrong? How do you feel? Are you sad, son? Is there a lady in your life? Do you have a girlfriend? Because, it's become a taboo to ask your son if they have a girlfriend. And let me just say, it's real and it's happening. But if you wanted to go on the wrong road, act like it's an alien in the room, it's an elephant in the room, let it pass. But if you get involved and tell them, yes, you have a girlfriend, but is it yet time? Are you doing this out of peer pressure? What do you do with this girl? Hey, this is what's happening around the world, around Kenya, in our homes. You never know. But you should be there to control the situation. You should be there to tell them that, son, this is not something you want to do. But let's not be so controlling that we don't give them room to breathe. That brings me to actually my next point, allowing them to fail. Okay, I know this may come as a shocker, but I'm just going to put this out there. People need to fail to succeed. I rest my case. I know you're stunned, but it's true. You need to fail to succeed. You can't always win. It's impossible. Even if you look at your life, you've had some ups and downs. And allowing sons and men in the family to fail, it shows them that they're human. Growing up, my mom always encouraged me, and she loved when I failed. She was very, very happy when I failed. Because she knew that the next time, I'm going to do something even greater to mask my failure. And she would encourage me and tell me, son, you've just failed. You've gotten a C in your mathematics exam. That's amazing. Now I think you know what to do. I think now I know you know your potential. I know you're going to make it, right? And I was like, yeah, Mom, I'm going to make it. And lucky enough, I would get an A in the next exam. Because she gave me a room to feel that pain. She didn't actually encourage the pain. You're going to be worthless, son. Son, no one in our family has gotten less than a B+ in mathematics. Now you're doing something wrong. Son, you know that in this house, we only bring B's and A's into this house. Where are you from? And then that's when we start pointing fingers. He's getting this from your side of the family. No, not my side of the family. He's getting it from, no. I mean, let's stop pointing fingers. It's all about giving someone room to fail. In every family, in every setup, in every social gathering, there has to be room for error. And let me just say, I'm very proud for any parent who encourages their son and gives their son a big hug and kisses them on the cheek and tells them, son, you tried, but I know this is not the end. You have what it takes, and I believe in you. You're the guy. You're the guy, and you're going to make it happen. The son will feel very comforted. He will feel very, oh my God, they believe in me. Even in my time of failure, they believe in me. I have to do something about this. And that's how people succeed, ladies and gentlemen. They don't succeed by you telling them how worthless they are and how Shiro, the neighbor, is doing so well in school, and you're just here, sitting here, telling us, I'm going to get an A, Mom. No, it's not going to happen. No. I'm just going to be free with you guys. That's why I'm saying everything. I'm just putting everything out there, because this is a bittersweet moment. And let me tell you, you have to love every single second of it. So let's give our sons room to fail. That's the only way you can support them in failure. Accepting that they have failed. Don't try to point your dream into them and letting them believe that I have to be this way so that I can, okay, fine. Oh, yeah. Tell them that you are who you are. You are who you are. Believe in yourself, son, and you're going to make it. Give them a hug. I was listening to a video about 2 months ago by guys called the Gracies, and they were talking about letting children experience pain. When a young child falls, most of us shrug it off, son, you're a man, or don't cry, you're a big girl. But letting them feel that pain, it's going to be very soothing and relieving at the end, because they'll know now this is what pain is. So in life, when they get rejected or someone dies in the family, they'll relate to that same pain. So they'll know it's okay to feel this way. So let me go through this pain. Let me live through this pain. And eventually, that's how they cope with the pain. But most likely we just tell them to harden, and that leads you to masking one emotion, something leads to the other, and then you mask another emotion. So in life, you'll grow up knowing that human beings are not supposed to experience pain. That's why they're telling me that as a man, I should not cry. As a man, I should not be sad. As a man, I should shrug it off and keep moving forward. Stop ruining your son's life. Let them experience the pain of failure, of loss, of rejection. Any pain, let them experience it. Because in life is going to land you blows left, right, and center. And if you're not ready for these blows from the word go, trust me, it's going to affect you. It's going to affect your life, your health, depression, suicide. Let's not even get into suicide because that's another topic on its own. The next one is by giving them identity. Wow, this is very, very, very nice. This is a very, very, very funny story I have on this one. 2 years ago, I had a cousin. And the father really, really wanted my cousin to become a doctor. Looking at her, she was the pinnacle. I know I'm talking about her, but there's also room for women in our story. So this young lady wanted to become a lawyer, but her father wanted her to become a doctor. So when she finished high school, he pulled every string he could find and took her to Uganda to become a doctor, to train to become a doctor. Little did they know that this lady doesn't really want to become a doctor. But because you pushed her into believing that you're a doctor, you're not a lawyer. I'm sorry, you're not a doctor, you're not a lawyer, you're a doctor. So she went, she did not do well, and she wasn't really making it in that line of work. And so she came home and she started now pursuing being a lawyer, and now, by God's grace, she's now an advocate of the High Court. Congratulations. But now, giving her identity, now when we bring this into context, it's really speaking in terms of, wow, my son wants to become a musician, huh? Why don't you want to become a doctor? Because, Dad, I'm not good at sciences, and I don't have that interest in the medical field. Okay, I respect that. Do your best, and I know you're going to succeed. That's how you should handle it. But that's how we picture, that's how most parents handle it. No, this is how the conversation goes. Dad, I want to become a musician. What? We've spent over 100,000 in your education. Why do you want to waste yourself by becoming a musician? You could become a lawyer, for God's sakes. You could become an engineer, something to stand proud of. No, I'm not letting you. And that's now how depression starts. That's how suicidal thoughts. Look, no one understands me. If I don't become a musician, I'm not doing anything else. So they get into this depression. After depression, they commit suicide. So giving them identity by showing them that A, they're important. B, whatever they think of in their minds, in their spirits, it's worth it. So they have that identity, that feeling of they believe in me. So I should actually pursue this and make something out of it. I'm not going to give up, because I was watching a movie yesterday. I know I'm referring to a lot of things, but that's where I get my knowledge anyway. It was a movie about men in the inner city, in the ghetto. And the person who was acting this movie was actually the son of a previous actor who actually relived that life. So, for example, there's this actor there's a character in a film, right? So the character in the film is played by the son of the real life person in the film. I don't know if you understood that, but that's actually how it is. The person in the film was actually a real person, but the person who played that character in that film was actually the son to the person in the real life story. That's how it is. So that shows that the father really, really, really encouraged the son to dream big. And the son did want to become an actor and a musician like the father. And instead of telling him you can do something different, he brought him close and told him, you know what, son? You're going to act my character in this movie. And it was a hit. Because there was not this back and forth that, no, I can't let you do this because I did it, do something different. He gave him identity and showed him that you are also an actor and you can actually do better than your old man. So let's give them identity. Also, how we bring up kids in the society, it's also different, especially men. Young, old. In the olden times, men were strong, bold, they were warriors. But this time, the generation has become a little bit more tamed and softer. So there's a lot of social media, there's a lot of people expanding their roots and everything. So giving them identity as per what is happening right now. I don't know if you're going to understand this properly, but how things are right now. If you start referring to them, when I was young, we used to be warriors. Okay, I'm sorry, but it's not that time. It's now. It's the 21st century. So teaching our young men to grow in this time of social media, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, teaching them to revolve around this and to be comfortable in their society and to give themselves identity, because they may go to social media and give themselves a different name, use a different picture of a different person. That means they're not comfortable with who they are. But from the word go, you tell them, son, you're important, you're a man. Let not anyone tell you you're nothing less than a man. You are a man, and I believe in you. So by giving them that identity, even when they go to social media, they'll boast at who they are, at what they believe in. And it's very, very amazing. It's very, very, very impactful to see a young man boasting and feeling like he matters in the society. And I believe that if in our families we give our young men identity by telling them you are worth it, you did good when they do good, by scolding them when they do wrong, we're going to go somewhere. And this message I would like to end with is for the young men who are watching this. Fellow men, I come to you to tell you that you're important, that you matter, that this world cannot work, cannot revolve if you're not in it. If you're about to commit suicide and you're watching this, stop. Take a minute, breathe, and just know your today is not your tomorrow. I want you to know that you're important, that your family loves you, that everybody cares. Don't listen to what people say that no one cares. Don't listen to the songs that say no one cares. We care, and we are here to support you. This series has been about you. That means you're important. And don't take anything less than greatness on this earth. Let's go out there and let's show the world that men, as they may say that we are far gone, tell them in the horizon, there's a dust, there's a cloud forming, and we're coming. And we're going to come with a bang. And when they least expect it, boom, we're going to make a difference in the society. And people are going to say, they came, they did, and now they're here. So believe in yourselves, young men. Prove them wrong. It's not only women can win Oscars and win awards and become first place in class. We can also do it. We also have the power. God gave us 2 feet, 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 nose. Let's do it. Let's take this life on. I love you all for tuning in. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. I would like to thank the organizers of this event for me to be here today. I would like to thank God for giving me the energy and the words to speak today. And I would like to thank you for tuning in. And please leave a comment down below. Say something positive about someone. Encourage someone in the comments. And also like and share this video. Thank you so much. God be with you. Let us pray. Let me make a short prayer for the family and for the young men who are watching this. Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, we come to you this day, thanking you for the gift of life and the gift of salvation, my Father. We thank you for the gift of men, God. These men who have changed the universe. When we talk about the Dedan Kimathi, the Jomo Kenyatta, the people who fought for our country, they were men, God. The same men who are living today and who lived long ago, they are the same men. So God, we want to thank you for them. We want to thank you for the